On November 20th, 2015, I was asked to do my first ever presentation at Brock University for a group of first-year teachers, or students who wanted to become teachers. I'd never done a presentation over 30 people before, so I was super nervous. So I got there early and slid right to the back. It was a pretty awesome perspective I got, because as I looked down, I could see all the students' laptops, and they were basically on Instagram or Facebook looking at cute cats. So it kind of calmed me down a little. I was like, you know what, they're not going to be focusing on me, so I don't really have to worry about this. So the presentation I was asked to do was on how to engage students in education. And I was like, you know, midway through the presentation I had an epiphany mid-sentence. And basically what it was I could be more impactful if I could help these students maintain their own level of engagement when they become teachers. So this thought went through my head and then just disappeared, and I continued on with the presentation. Little did I know that this thought would send me on the craziest journey. That's part of the reason why I'm on the stage today, and one that's made me a lot happier with educators. Let me tell you what happened. So the next morning at 5 a.m., I shoot out of bed. Like I'm talking, I sit straight up, eyes pop open, and I sprint downstairs to my computer. You know, this is super uncharacteristic for me because I'm like a slow starter in the day and I don't like to rush it. So I never experienced this before. So 45 minutes later, my wife comes down to check if I'm okay, and I'm like, I don't know if it were 45 minutes, but whatever. And I blurted out to her, listen, I'm gonna write a book on staying motivated in education. You should have saw the look of confusion and disbelief on this lady's face. And then she says to me this, it was awesome, she goes, Rob, you've never read a book. And I said, I said, you got it. I said, but it's so weird, I got this book in my head, I just need to get it out. And I show her my screen and I've got all 14 chapters laid out in Google Docs. That's the actual chapters. So over the next 4 months, I wrote every single day, and I completed the first draft. Then I edited over the course of a year, and then I submitted it to a very popular publisher in education, see the patch on the eye, and got rejected. You know what? Something weird happened then. I realized I wrote the wrong book on the wrong topic. You see, I was studying all about motivation, but somewhere along the line it took a pivot. And I started to read about positive psychology and happiness, and then I had a moment where I was like, that's what's important. Having teachers who love coming to work and love doing their jobs. So I scrapped that first book on motivation as just practice, and I wrote it off, and I just fully immersed myself in positive psychology. And not just reading about it, but having as many conversations with as many educators as possible to find out why they love teaching. I am super jacked to announce that I signed with EduMatch and will be coming out early 2020. Shameless promotion. But here's the thing, is it took me so long to write it because I was living each chapter and I wanted to learn myself how I could continue to love teaching. So tonight I want to share with you some realizations I've come to while writing this book. These realizations have had a massive impact on how much I love my job, and not only that, they've also helped me personally just enjoy my life more. So here are the realizations. Number one, that we have a lot more control over our happiness than we might think. The research says that 40% of our happiness is within our control. What I learned personally is that in every decision after something goes wrong, that impacts how happy I'm going to be. Number two is that we can create our own realities. You know, I never really saw realities as being subjective until I read the book Before Happiness. And then I realized it's what we choose to focus on, and it's how we spin it which alters the reality we live in. Number three is that we as teachers need to always connect to why we became teachers. If we truly want to be happy in this profession, we always got to remember why we got into it. Hopefully that's students, and never let go of that, because that's what will keep us connected and happy. Number four, that the daily routines and habits we do every day will have a huge impact on how happy we are. You know, when I went to write this book, the average chapter was 10 to 15 pages. The chapter on routines was almost 100 pages. It was that important, I found. Number five is that teachers need to involve more in self-care. We suck at this as teachers, and we need to give ourselves permission to do it. If we're going to step up and take care of kids, we need to take care of ourselves first. And number six is the routine that I've gravitated to, which has the greatest impact on me, has been gratitude. You know, training my brain every day to pick out the positives has really changed my perspective on education. I love using the app Happy Feed for this. If you haven't tried it, it's a go-to. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that when we look at education, there's so many things that we can do to love our jobs. The key is that we need to put happiness at the priority of everything we do, and then work from there. I want to finish by saying this, that your students deserve a teacher at the front of the room that loves what they do, that loves coming to school today. But equally as important, it's this. You deserve it. You deserve to love your job, and you deserve to be happy in education. Thank you for listening.